Welcome back to Eliances Heroes, where heroes in business align. To be part of our super community and find out more about Eliances, visit www.Eliances.com.
That's right, and welcome back. What an incredible morning it's been. I just had on the CEO of Batteries Plus, over 600 million in revenue. Also, too, we had on the former president of Cabela's. So make sure that you go to Eliances.com. That's Eliances.com. It is the only place where entrepreneurs align. Well, I got to tell you, we're going to be talking about the future. The future is happening now, and our next guest is going to explain how that's all possible. So welcome to the show, Emil Jiminez. And Emil is the founder of, are you ready for this? Mindbank.ai. All right, Emil, we've got to get right into it. First of all, what in the world is this Mindbank?
So we believe that Mindbank is a personal digital twin platform, and we believe that the next personal computer is you. And it all started, I think the best way to describe it is tell the story of how I came up with this idea, which is the most, human and the most natural thing. So about a year and a half ago, my little girl was 4 years old, and she's playing with her iPad, and Siri pops up for the first time. And she asked me, "Daddy, what is this?" So I say, "Honey, this is Siri. She's like a friend. Ask her a question. Say, 'Hi, Siri,' and ask her questions." So she thinks for a second, and then she says, "Hi, Siri, do you have a mommy?" And then she continues to ask Siri questions like, do you have toys? Show me your toys. Do you like ice cream? And she basically has a conversation with Siri for about 10 minutes. And then at the end of 10 minutes, she says, "Siri, I love you. You're my best friend." And that got me thinking about, the relationship. And I have a degree in psychology. So I started, my daughter went from having a transactional relationship, show me your toys, to an emotional relationship, I love you. And a part of me was thinking, what is her world going to be like when she's my age? Let's say 40 years, 35 years from now, what is her world going to be like? And how can I always be part of that world? So I tried to figure out, how can I upload my mind so that she can always access it? And
all right, so we're talking about, Emil, that you've created something that you can virtually, upload your mind to?
Slowly, yes. You basically upload your story. So imagine I ask you questions. How did you meet your wife? Where did you grow up? All these things. And slowly you start building a character that is you just by answering questions about your life. Imagine someone writing a biography of you that can then become interactive.
And so, and you're right. The technology is just evolving faster and faster than ever before. So right now it's done where it's like computer, almost like almost like the Siri part, asking questions, getting answers.
It's like you talking to me right now, asking me questions. The only difference is that these answers are being stored, analyzed for psychographic and psycholinguistic properties. So we give you sentiment analysis, topic analysis, and personality assessment. So it's kind of like getting inside your mind a little bit so that you can see who you are and learn about yourself.
And how does it ask you questions to be able to answer, to be able to feed it? How does this thing learn? How does it grow?
It literally just has about 1,000 or so questions on the platform. Like, literally just, tell me about your day. Where did you grow up? How did you meet your wife? These type of things. And over time, it learns. It learns who you are, and it starts learning the ideas that over time we have enough data that it starts learning how you think.
All right, I'm going to be asking you a lot of questions about this because what you've created is truly unique. First of all, you're watching, listening to me, David Kogan, host of the Eliances Hero Show. A shout out to our sponsor too, Hire ECT. Go to be able to chat directly and hire quickly. It is using the first chat-based hiring app for startups. So make sure that you go. You'll see the link below for HireAct. Make sure it's HIRECT. App. Will have the whole information and stuff down below. It's truly incredible. I'm using the app now to myself. All right, so Emil, so you're feeding this database your information to basically have the version of you online so that others can be able to access it, have conversations. But what do you see the future of it? Do you see it actually evolving to, the physical part of almost the animatronics or robots or something of that, where you can feed this
Well,
into the mind?
the vision I have for it is really more like a spirit, completely device agnostic. So imagine this, digital twin could be in your car when you have a conversation, could be on your phone, could be on your Alexa at home. It could be wherever, whatever device on a robot at some point, it depends, quite honestly, my vision for this, my measurement of success is when this technology is on another planet. And how we get there is a long journey, and it's a longer conversation than this, David. But happy to have that conversation with you sometime.
I mean, yeah, truly incredible. I mean, this type of technology. So, how does the process work? How's the revenue work? How does somebody go about signing up? Where do they even start?
So right now we're finalizing the development, the first version 1, let's say. So right now we're taking pre-sales. So we have a offer that will end this week, actually, this Friday, 50% off. We have a visionary plan, which is a lifetime subscription. We're only selling 5,000 of those. And we have a monthly recurring revenue of $4.99, of which you can get it for half off for the first year. And then we have a free version for the rest of the world, or for anyone who doesn't want to pay, which is basically just uploading your data. Because the analysis of it is really where the magic happens, right? Learning about yourself. People really are fascinated by, what they can learn about themselves while using the platform. And we want to make that accessible to everyone, which is why we have a free version as well.
All right. So, Emil, have you completed the 1,000 questionnaires already?
No, actually, no, I have not.
How
We've
long does
I've
something like
completed the
that?
questions.
Yeah, how
I've,
long does something like that take to complete?
oh, I think, David, we're never done. Quite honestly, I think as human beings, the purpose is not to just build a twin and forget about it, right? It's really about understanding yourself throughout your life cycle. So in reality, you shouldn't ever be done. The question should always come up, and the beauty of it is that others can ask your digital twin questions, which you can answer. So your brother, your sister might know something that's not on the platform, right? Obviously, they know special things about you, which would add value to your digital twin, and also add value to that family heritage and that family lineage and that family wisdom, really. So the idea is that you're never done. You learn about yourself throughout your life. It's the best way to describe is that you go to the gym for a 6-pack, right? And you want to get that beach bod, but what keeps you coming back is those small gains, that that feeling of I'm getting stronger, I'm getting better, and that never ends.
Right. No, absolutely. And again, we're talking with Emil Jiminez. You can reach him at mindbank.ai, and make sure you go to our sponsor, hirect.us. That's hirect.us. It allows you to be able to interview candidates anytime, anywhere. It's excellent for startups to be able to instantly connect with potential employees and employers, people that are looking for jobs. Make sure you go there, hirect.us. So, Emil, again, these things that you've created and all that, it's almost hard for somebody who hasn't used your system yet to be able to do it, to comprehend, though, how that. I like how you kind of related it almost to, right, the Siri, where they're asking, except instead of asking Siri, they're getting information on you. How many times do we wish that we had that opportunity to ask relatives that are no longer around, friends that are no longer around? I think you're right. It could create, too, an emotional healing process, too.
Yeah, there is that side of the emotional healing process, the family heritage and family lineage. But the true strength is embracing AI for ourselves and what we call AI enhanced humanity. How can I become an API? How can I become digitized and become, and take advantage of all of the technologies that are available to make me a better human being? And that's really what we're trying to do.
And Emil, who would you want to connect with that was part of your life that's no longer here, that you wish that they had you wish that this was created at that time and their information was on it?
So it's a funny story. It's good that you asked that. So I was curious, and I did a genealogy study, right? And my mother said, "Oh, your great great grandfather came in the 1850s or something like that. He was a soldier," and gave me a little story. I was like, okay, but then I actually paid someone to do some research and really dig deep, right? And the finding was that we've been in this. My family's from a small village in the Dominican Republic, and they've been from the same village for over 400 years. And my mother never knew that. This person went, birth certificate to marriage certificate to death certificate, it went back 400 years. And I would love to have asked that that person, how'd you end up in this, this island in the middle of nowhere?
Right.
That would have been amazing. That would be amazing.
And I think that this is something too for all ages, because we never know when our time's going to happen.
Yeah. You
So
never know. And if you have kids, you want them to remember you, and you want your grandkids that you maybe, because really, I think I built this for my daughter, but a part of me thinks that really my great grandkids are the ones who are going to really want to see this, because
right,
they won't know me at all.
right.
Right. My daughter knows me. She might know me, maybe my grandkids as well. But the other people and it continues. And then you have this lineage of family history and values and trauma, maybe even, right? Like, things that you carry and you don't even know. So, that's one healing process, really, but I think there's much more to that. I really think it's AI enhanced humanity. How can I, Emil, be a better person using this platform?
And it will continue to evolve with the way that the world is continuing changing and technology getting faster and faster. I mean, the thing is, and I think it's even within education, I see this. I mean, amazing if this was developed George Washington, Abraham Lincoln time, and that you can have that conversation with one of them as if it's happening real time right now, live.
Yeah. Imagine all these great minds that are around today. We have so much data actually on them because they write books and they write things. So we could put something together, right? But what I see even more strongly is, okay, how can we use this digital twin technology, the personal digital twin, to reduce the education gap that exists across the world, to reduce the financial gap that exists across the world? Because a lot of times what it is, it's access to information, not necessarily access to education that's the problem, right? So that's something that we want to tackle as well down the line. It's a different problem, different time, but it's I've got a 50, 60, 100-year plan ahead of me. So,
I love it. Truly amazing. We actually have the founder. I interviewed the founder of Siri on here. I probably should connect you with him. You never know where that could lead to.
well, yeah, no, it'd be great. We actually have one of the people who developed Siri on the advisory board. He was a lead
Uh,
program engineer, so they might know each other.
Probably. In
Yeah.
fact, let's talk about that. How did you put together a team? How did you know who to add to your team and put together a team to be able to make this actually? Because a lot of people come up with ideas, but you've brought this to fruition.
Yeah, so I got this idea January 17th, 2020. I didn't incorporate until August. So for 8 months, I was just knocking on doors, sending emails, talking to whoever would bother, talking to me. And you'd be surprised when, you send an email and the email is quite interesting, right? I've got this idea. I'd like to pick your brain. This is what the idea is about. And pretty much probably got like a 75% response rate. Pretty good. And then people just, willing to give me 10 minutes of their time to listen to this crazy idea. And then it's one of those where I just ask a simple question: who else should I talk to? And they recommend another person. Oh, you got to talk to David. You got to talk to this woman, and slowly you start putting putting the pieces together. And I think the advantage is you have to let ideas marinate too. I've made the mistakes before where I had an idea and then built the website and did it, and then you realize I didn't really think that through, did I?
And you've already won a number of awards and stuff, the IESE Global Leadership Scholarship, Better Chance High School Scholarship, Who's Who in America College Students. I mean, the list just goes on and on and on. Have those awards helped to get more of the word out about what you're doing?
Well, yeah, those awards specifically were quite old, but the awards we won recently was we won a EU Tech Forum Investor Forum, so we won third place there, and that put us in front of a lot of very, very interesting people. Let me put it this way: I can't name names, but it's kind of like It's one of those family names that you would know. Let's put it this way, And we won. We were also Deep Tech for Good startup. So people. This idea actually naturally gravitates towards people. So I'll give you an example. Our head of systems architecture and cybersecurity just came to me, and he's like, he read an article on us, and he's like, hey man, I always wanted to do this. It's such a great idea. I love the positioning. I want to work with you. Don't worry about money. And and we had no money. So I was like, I like you. That's done.
Right.
But it's one of those, like, if you're willing to sweat it with us, you're willing to sacrifice, and it's not about the money right now, then you have the doors are open, right? This is the time to do that. And I've built a team of geniuses, really. Chief Information Officer or ex-CIO of Health and Human Services, gentleman from Siri that I mentioned, Microsoft board members. It's like, the list goes on and on. It's quite amazing, actually.
Well, again, what you're doing is truly amazing. There's a poster on my daughter's door that reminds me of this interview, and it says, "The future is now," because what you've created is taking place. And this is futuristic of what you're doing now. I can only imagine how that's going to continue to evolve. Well, Emil,
it's the scary part, David, how fast it's going. I'll tell you a real quick one. When I started, they said they would be 5 to 10 years, the peak. This year, they reduced it from 2 to 5. So pretty much half, half the time it's going to reach its peak. So it's going fast. I can tell you that from our side, it's going lightning fast.
Well, truly incredible. You are preserving the future. You're making incredible enhancements. Emil Jiminez, you can contact him at mindbank.ai. Make sure you go to mindbank.ai. This has been David Kogan with the Eliances Hero Show. Make sure you continue to stay tuned because we've got a lot more going on. Make sure you check out Eliances.com, Eliances.com. This has been David Kogan with the Eliances Hero Show. The only place where entrepreneurs align.
Where entrepreneurs align.